Okay, I think as people are coming in, we'll give it one more minute and then we'll get started. Okay, I think we'll go ahead and get started and go through this. And again, this is being recorded, and we'll make this available for everyone if they're not able to attend, or if you want to go back and rewatch this. I'm Eric Asbo, I'm the interim deputy administrator for city planning. As Chris was saying earlier, we're going to talk about some details about the capital budget process this year at the best time of the year, right, for everybody. Just to kind of help orient everybody to what is going to be happening and why we're doing this, we're thinking about the next 5-year capital improvement plan, which we update every year through the city, and thinking specifically about capital projects, different from what we have been talking about with operating funds. We're thinking about projects that typically have a useful life greater than 1 year. The cost is a little bit different, costing at least $50,000. One way to think about that, capital projects are often taking multiple years and multiple phases to complete. Unlike the operating funds, the funds remain for the life of the project because they do sometimes take multiple years. Unlike the operating budgets, the resources that are needed for capital projects are not consistent from year to year. They may only be one-time projects or have different needs over the life of their project, and so they can often change. This is again similar to, I'll go into the individual phases with this, but similar to what Chris was sharing earlier. Here we are today on the 16th, kicking this off. On Monday, the PBB submission site is going to open for requests. That site is also going to be used for the capital requests. We'll have some sessions in January to meet to get into them a little bit in more detail. And then again, I will continue to emphasize February 14th being the final submission deadline for capital, as well as any of the other operating requests that you have. So what's new for FY23? Again, as we've been talking about this afternoon, priority-based budgeting, different from what it has been in the past. The overall format for the capital budget request will be relatively similar, but again, using the PBB website there. We're going to be aligning the requests and assessment of the capital request through the One Chattanooga Strategic Plan. Again, that can be found on the PBB site, so please take a look at that. There is, similar to the operating request, only one submission happening this time. So we're not going to do multiple submissions like we have in previous years, just a single one. Again, due in February 14th. The overall structure of the capital request is staying largely the same. A few of the questions have been reworded, so as you're making your way through the PBB site, please read them carefully to make sure you're providing enough information about that. But overall, the structure is basically the same. Again, like I mentioned, we will be having departmental meetings similar to what Brent mentioned for the operating requests. We'll do that in mid-January as well, just to kind of have a check-in partway through the process, making sure departments are moving in the right direction. If there are any specific questions about previous capital projects, forthcoming capital projects, we can get into that in more detail. We'll be scheduling those in the coming weeks, so please keep an eye out for that. I know that for internal departments, this will be something that is gone into in more detail in the next presentation starting at 3 o'clock, but there is a parallel system to the PBB site, EPM. There's going to be relatively limited access to this in terms of the number of people who will be doing it. So not everybody who is working on the capital budgets for departments, and none of the external agencies will be using the EPM system, but we'll be reaching out to departments specifically and the people who have access to EPM to give details about what is needed for capital. All of the information that is needed for submission through EPM is going to be needed for the priority-based budgeting site anyway. So that can be a great place to start, and the EPM we can kind of fit in with the training and everything else like that afterwards. Again, I'll just emphasize pbb.chattanooga.gov. If you go to PBB capital budget, up on the right-hand corner, will be a drop-down menu, and you can get started with all of your capital requests. This is a basic framework, similar to what it has been last year for what is required to submit the capital request. I'm not going to go into all of these in detail. Most of these are fairly self-explanatory, but I will call out a couple just to highlight them. Again, the One Chattanooga goal is something that we are trying to align all of our capital requests with. Please take a look at that at the plan on the PBB site for more detail. If you want to discuss how your project does or does not align with those goals in advance, please reach out to the capital team. We're happy to talk through that. Another thing to note, for external offers only, as in previous years, a letter of support from the city department is going to be required. We'll also be sharing with departments, and we can share this with any external agencies if you would like, a basic template that has all of the required fields for any of the capital requests. Be sure to click submit at the end of the process. In section 5, it has a place where you can upload attachments. There is a submit button. Please, please, please be sure to do that. Otherwise, your work will not be saved, and we will not know that you have made the request. A little bit more detail about the department meetings that are taking place in mid-January. Capital team is going to be meeting with each of the departments. And again, we can do that with external agencies if there's interest. We'll review current capital improvement plan, see what was there in previous years to make sure that we are aligning the current year with the priorities. We'll walk through the FY23 process in a lot more detail, including the EPM process, which I mentioned, and we're happy to give feedback on potential projects at that time. Please watch out for invites from the capital team. Again, that'll be coming in the next couple of weeks. If you have any questions in the meantime, you're really raring to get started on it, or you have some questions about the process, please reach out to capital@chattanooga.gov with any questions. Any external agencies or anybody else who would like to schedule a meeting outside of those, please reach out to us, and we're happy to set that up. Again, this is kind of a broader overview of the whole capital process. These are the dates that we were talking about. PBB portal opening on December 20th. We will be sending out to departments reports that list all of your current capital projects with balances and other details at the same time, and starting to schedule those meetings that'll take place in mid-January. February 14th, final submission, again. And the coming months after that, before the capital budget is approved, we will be convening the Capital Improvement Committee again to do reviewing and scoring, working with the mayor and the mayor's office really closely to review all of those projects, and working with our finance team to make sure that we are aligning the projects that are received with the available funds that we anticipate to receive in the coming years. And then the council process in the months before the end of June will start, and then we will seek council approval for that. This is again graphically representing that same thing. Again, be really important. Monday, PBB submission site opens. We will look forward to seeing your requests. And February 14th, final submission deadline for all capital requests. And with that, again, please feel free to contact capital@chattanooga.gov with any questions throughout this process. And then if there are questions about the site or other pieces of this, PBB@chattanooga.gov is also a great resource for that. See if there are some questions that have come in. Happy to talk through any of that. I know we have until 3 o'clock, and we will use as much time to answer questions and anything else.
I don't see any so far, Eric. It was very efficient, effective presentation. No questions.
All right. Well, I'll just say again, if no one has questions or you're you're shy to share them with everybody else, please reach out to capital@chattanooga.gov. We're happy to answer any questions that you may have in the meantime. Chris or Brent, anything you'd like to add?
Brent, did you have any, I'd like to let Brent have some parting words. That's my word for Brent.
I have none other than good job, Eric Asbo. Good presentation and good job, Capital team, putting all this together.
And just a reminder that, again, this recorded session will be available on the PBB website, and we will send that out with the link along with these instructions. So with that, you all have a wonderful day. Thank you.